Hi. Today I'm going to read you a selection from Politically Correct Bedtime Stories, Modern Tales for Our Life and Times by James Finn Garner. I know the picture's backwards, but you get the idea. And I'm going to read a copy of The Frog Prince. Once upon a time, there was a young princess who, when she grew tired of beating her head against the male power structure at her castle, would relax by walking into the woods and sitting beside a small pond. There she would amuse herself by tossing her favorite golden ball up and down and pondering the role of the eco-feminist warrior in her era. One day, while she was envisioning the utopia that her queendom would become if women were in the positions of power, she dropped the ball, which rolled into a pond. The pond was so deep and murky that she couldn't see where it had gone. She didn't cry, of course, but she made a mental note to be more careful the next time. Suddenly she heard a voice say, "Can I get your ball for you, princess?" She looked around and saw the head of a frog popping above the surface of the pond. "No, no," she said. "I would never enslave a member of another species to work for my selfish desires." The frog said, "Well, if we make a deal on that contingency basis, I'll get your ball for you if you do me a favor in return." The princess gladly agreed to this most equitable arrangement. The frog dived under the water and soon emerged with the golden ball in his mouth. He spit the ball on the shore and said, "Now that I've done you a favor, I'd like to explore your views on physical attraction between the species." The princess couldn't imagine what the frog was talking about. The frog continued, "You see, I am not really a frog at all. While my frog form is no better or worse, only different, than my human form, I would so much like to be amongst the people again. I'm really a man, but an evil sorcerer has cast a spell on me. And the only thing that can break this spell is a kiss from the princess." The princess thought for a moment about whether sexual harassment could take place between species, but her heart went out to the frog for his predicament. She bent down and kissed the frog on the forehead. Instantly the frog grew and changed, and there, standing in the water where the frog had been, was a man in a golf shirt and loud plaid pants, middle-aged, vertically challenged, and losing a little bit of hair on top. The princess was taken aback. "I'm sorry if this sounds a little classist," she stammered. "But what I mean to say is, don't sorcerers usually cast spells on princes?" "Ordinarily, yes," he said, "but this time the target was just an innocent businessman. You see, I'm a real estate developer, and the sorcerer thought that I was cheating him on a property line dispute, so he invited me out for a round of golf. And just as I was about to tee off, he transformed me. But my time as a frog wasn't wasted. You know, I've gotten to know every square inch of these woods, and I think it would be ideal for an office park condo resort complex. The location's great, and the numbers crunch perfectly. The bank wouldn't lend any money to a frog, but now that I'm in human form again, they'll be eating out of my hand. Oh, will that be sweet? And let me tell you, this is going to be a big project. Just drain the pond, cut down 80% of the trees, get the easements for..." The frog developer was cut short. The frog developer was cut short when the princess shoved her golden ball back into his mouth. She then pushed him back underwater and held him there until he stopped thrashing. As she walked back to the castle, she marveled at the number of good deeds that a person may have done in just one morning. And while someone may have noticed that the frog was gone, no one ever really missed the real estate developer.